thought to finally get around to installing this UniFi smart sensor. According to the website, a Protect all-in-one sensor, and the model number is UP-Sense. These go for around £55 so let's do a quick unboxing and then go through the specifications and then get it installed onto my network. So in the box, which is a solid cardboard box, we have the UniFi Protect smart sensor itself here, which is covered in plastic wrapping, and also a tab at the top to release the power so that it allows the power to flow through the battery, thus powering the UniFi smart sensor. Further in the box we have a corner mounting bracket which is angled, as you'll see here, which can be mounted in the corner of, for example, a room. So it would be mounting as such, like that, so it's angled and thus not actually straight on a flat surface, so it's angled. Also in the box, if we pull out the tab on the plastic cover, we have the little plastic battery release, and this is to release the plastic cover on the back to gain access to the battery. Also in the box we have a little magnetic sensor which is also wrapped in plastic wrapping, and this is the second part for the actual sensor. So for example, this would be mounted on your door, and then the magnetic sensor would be mounted onto the door frame. According to UniFi setup instructions anyway, it appears that the UniFi sensor is not actually mounted to the frame but should be mounted to the door, and then the magnetic sensor should be mounted to the frame and not the door. As you'll see, it's magnetic, so it sticks to the side of the sensor. Also in the box are the screws, which 4 of them are used for mounting the actual corner mounting bracket or the smart sensor and the magnet to, for example, a door or the corner of a wall in a room. However, there are self-adhesive sticky back pads on the actual sensor and the magnet, so I will be using these to mount them onto my kitchen door, which is the rear door to exit the property. As I don't have any protection on that door, I've decided to install the smart sense on the back door so that it reports when the door has actually been opened. So also in the box is the usual little card with the QR code on it, which can be used to set up the UniFi smart sensor using a, for example, smartphone. Underneath the cardboard tab there's also a spare set of sticky back adhesive pads, which can be used again as spares to mount the sensor. Should you need to change the location of the sensor, it would probably damage the pads that are already stuck on there, so you could actually replace them with the spare pads. And that's it for what's in the box. So I'll go through the specifications and then we'll get down to installing it on the door and adding it to the UniFi network controller. So the smart sensor itself has, as I say, plastic wrapping which we can remove. I'll leave the battery tab in there for the time being until it's actually been mounted in its mounting position. Now the Protect all-in-one sensor has motion detections up to 5 meters or 16 feet. It also has temperature and humidity sensing. It also has ambient light sensing and also alarm sound sensing. Now, not to be confused, the alarm sound sensing, what it does is actually detects when, for example, a smoke detector in your house or premises is actually triggered, and then the smart sensor will actually trigger and report that the actual smoke detector has actually been triggered. So what it does is senses the noise of the actual smoke detector, so the alarm sound of the smoke detector will trigger the sensor in the smart sensor. So basically it actually detects sound. It also has door and window state sensing, and this is what I was talking about with the magnetic sensor. So when the two become apart, it will actually detect that the door has been opened, and when they go back together, it will detect that the door has been closed. It also has a battery life of up to 1 year, and in order to use this Protect all-in-one sensor, UP Sense in the model name, you have to connect it to a UniFi Bluetooth enabled access point. So to confirm, the Bluetooth enabled access points are currently a Dream router, a U6 Lite, and that's excluding early access models, a U6 long range, and that's excluding early access models, a U6 mesh, U6 professional, U6 in-wall, U6 enterprise, U6 enterprise in-wall, and U6 extender. Please note that the U6 Plus and U6 Plus long range do not support Bluetooth. As I have a U6 professional access point, this is allowing me to install the UP Sense all-in-one Protect smart sensor. So now that we've gone through the unboxing of everything, we'll go to the door and get it mounted onto my back door. So as you'll see, I've now stuck the UniFi Protect smart sensor using the adhesive backing onto the actual back door of my kitchen, and then the magnet is also stuck onto the actual door frame, and it's level with the bottom of the actual Smart Protect sensor. So the magnet should be level with the bottom of the Protect sensor, or as close as you can to get that level. And that's also the magnet is also stuck to the door frame via the sticky back padding on there. I've left the actual tab, as you'll see at the top here, in the battery at the moment until we're ready to install it into UniFi Protect. So we'll go and install it into UniFi Protect now, and just to confirm, my back door actually opens inwards, so there's no fear of actually the smart sensor getting caught in the door at all when it opens or closes. So I would recommend you just check to make sure that the position you're mounting it to allows for your door to freely open and close without blocking or knocking the actual smart sensor itself. So let's go into UniFi Protect now. So here we are at the computer, and I've logged into my UniFi Protect console, and what I've done is clicked on UniFi devices, which is the second icon down at the left hand side. I've also removed the tab on the UP Sense or UniFi Protect smart sensor, which is now released power so that it flows through the battery, and as you'll see, I've got a message saying click to adopt. So what we'll do is click to adopt, and you will now see that it's adopting the UP Sense. Now it's saying on the screen sensor details, and it's given it a name of UP Sense, and I'll change this to Sense 01, as in SENS 01. Now it's asking if I want to pair this sensor with a camera to associate them. You can view both elements together on the home page and access sensor readings while viewing that camera. So I don't need to actually pair it to a camera because it's actually on a different door. Anyway, at this stage we'll just leave it as no camera pairing. So then we'll click next. Now it's asking me for mount and detection. Battery life estimate with current settings is long. So the placement is currently selected as none. However, I'll change this to door, and then for detect we'll leave these blank because we're not actually using it for motion detection, humidity, alarm link, temperature or light. We're just actually using it for the magnetic door sensor when the door opens and closes. So we'll leave the placement as door, and then detect, leave these as unticked. Then click next. Then door mounted sensor. Mount your sensor to a door as shown below, which we already have done, and it's saying the door status is closed. So I'll just go and open the door, and hopefully the door status should change to open. Now I've opened the door, and as you will see, the door status has now changed to open. So that confirms that the actual door sensor for opening and closing the door is actually working correctly. So I've now just closed the door again, and as you can see, the door status has now changed back to closed. So now that we've done that, we'll click on next, and as you'll see, the sensor is now listed along with my smart chime and also the doorbell. As you'll see from the IP address, it's actually got a Bluetooth symbol next to it, which means that it's actually linked via Bluetooth to my U6 Pro wireless access point. And as I said earlier in the video, you do have to make sure that you have a Bluetooth enabled wireless access point to be able to use UniFi Protect all-in-one smart sensor. So let's click on UP Sense, and then we should have more information, as you can see at the right hand side, and we have the name, the MAC address, status, model, firmware version, battery life, which is currently 100%, and sensor connection to bridge is 95%, and the uptime is 12 minutes. And also underneath that we have the hardware revision number. So now if we click on the activities tab, it will show that there's no activity yet because the door hasn't actually been opened and closed since it's been completely adopted. So we now click on settings, and here you'll see that we can change the name and pair it to a camera if necessary, and the LED status is currently on. Events to capture, we can also change this to window, garage, leak, or motion detection, humidity, alarm, light and temperature. So we can actually add multiple detection items if required. Now as you'll see, it's just removed that information from screen, as if we go back to the main list of devices, you'll see that it's now updating itself. So estimated time for this update is 2 minutes and 37 seconds. So we'll just wait for that to complete, and then we'll go back into the settings and go through those. Now as you will see, the update is finished and it's now reconnected itself, and it's appearing as status online in the list of UniFi Protect devices. When the update was being run, the smart sensor had a light on the bottom which was flashing alternately between blue and white. So now if we click on the device and continue back into settings, you'll see that we have the paired camera none, name is Sense01, the LED is on, and I can confirm that the smart sensor has a blue LED ring at the bottom of it. And if we click events to capture, you'll see that we have motion, humidity, alarm, light and temperature, and at the moment none of these are ticked. Obviously the more of these that you do tick, it will actually reduce the battery life. So now if we click on manage, you can see that we can locate the sensor, restart the sensor or remove it. So it's just basic settings in there. Probably I think the ideal situation with one of these sensors would be to be able to tie it to, for example, the smart chime, so that if the door is opened it triggers the smart chime to sound as an alarm or something similar to that. That would be probably a bonus. However, in another video, I think what I'll try and do is get it integrated into Home Assistant so that we get notified when the door is opened. So in theory, it triggers an alarm and we get notified via Home Assistant, which would be a useful thing, I think. So I'll try and do that in another video, so as not to make this video too long. Hope you enjoyed this video and keep a lookout because I've got further videos coming up soon. Thanks for watching and take care, and bye for now.